Good afternoon. Please have a seat. Honorary guests, dignitaries, past and present board members, past and present service members, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official grand opening of the new Niagara Regional Police Service headquarters and 2 district facilities. For those that don't know me, my name is Brian McCullough. I'm the Deputy Chief of Operations for the service. It's truly an honor for me to be your Master of Ceremonies today, and I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. A special thanks to our Piper, George Davidson, and the members of our Color Party for their assistance in starting our ceremony today. Today is an historic event. Truly a monumental occasion. It's not every day that the city, or the region for that matter, constructs a new police headquarters. This building proudly represents our police service, but more importantly reflects our commitment to serve the Niagara community for decades to come. Throughout the years, the Niagara Regional Police Service has experienced much transition, be it the amalgamation of all municipal police services that occurred in 1971, or the more recent transition into new police facilities in Welland, Grimsby, and Fort Erie. These events were all highlights in our service's history, and today is certainly no exception. As a police service, it's always been our ultimate goal to improve operational efficiency while continuing to provide the best possible service to the residents of our community and the visitors to the Niagara region. I'm proud to say that this facility has achieved both of these goals. This building certainly has been a long time in the making and represents the hard work and dedication of several individuals from our service, our Police Services Board, and partners at the region. The end result, as you will see here today, is a state-of-the-art police facility with the latest in technological advancements. Our facility has set the standard across Canada and perhaps the U.S. on what a police facility should be. Both the community and our service members should be extremely proud of this building and what it represents to public safety. At this time, I would like to recognize the long-established and rich heritage that our Aboriginal community members have in the Niagara region, and in doing so, I'd like to call upon Miss Marie Jones from the Niagara Regional Native Centre, who will perform a traditional smudging ceremony.
Sego. Just for clarification, I am not from the Niagara Regional Native Centre, although I am from the Niagara Indigenous community and have been since my pre-teens. So that's fine. Thank you for that. And would like to thank the Niagara Regional Native Centre for officially inviting me to come here, and I'm really honored to be here. And Aguego Oscar and Didawahnoni. Oops, let me go back again. A few times I heard, oh, a smudging ceremony, a smudging ceremony. And I did not come, I was not asked to do a smudging ceremony. I came to acknowledge the Indigenous lands and to do an opening. And so as a Haudenosaunee woman, that's what I'm going to do, even though this job, this role, is a male's responsibility. But over the times, we have lost that. And my spiritual elder told me, and it is a prophecy, that this day would come when women would have to stand up and do this job. So I'm honored to do this because I need to know it, because I need to teach my sons, I need to teach my grandchildren what their role and responsibility is in acknowledging this land. Anyway, Aguego Oscar and Didawahnoni Niguat Nigula Dano de Tinolara ne Oho de Suha. Tonio Dohak Niguat Nigula Tolgadi. The first order of business is to give respect and honor and acknowledgement to each and every one of us that are here today. That we all arrived here in a safe manner, you know, and even we have empty seats here. We acknowledge the people that are not sitting in these seats and the people who could not be here today. But the first order of business is to acknowledge everyone that's here and to give thanks for that. And I'm a Haudenosaunee woman, Gachichagelo, Nudajits, Waganyato, Yayak de Honjage, Ganyigahaga. My spirit name is Gachichagelu. I'm Mohawk, Turtle Clan of the Six Nations territory. So once we've acknowledged all the people here, we turn out there and we take a look at Mother Earth out there, and we give thanks for her on a daily basis. I'm told that before our feet hit the floor in the morning, we are to be giving thanks to Songwai Ndiso, creator of all things, that we are here for another day, and we acknowledge all and prepare for the lessons that are laid before us for that day. So when we take a look at Mother Earth out there, we acknowledge her and we give thanks for that she continually provides for us on a daily basis. She sustains us on a daily basis. She does not have to be told what her role or responsibility is. She just does it on a daily basis. And we bring all of our minds together. My elder tells me that when you have a group of people like this, and our gratitude gets piled on top. So there's a lot of people. So that's a lot of gratitude that we're sending up to Songwai Ndiso, thanking him for that. And with that unity comes power, power of the mind. And so we do that as we come together and give thanks for that. And then we take a look at Mother Earth, what's in Mother Earth and that water, that blood flow that travels through her. We acknowledge that. We turn to the power of the water that we have right beside us and acknowledge that water, that sacred water, that life of water. We are almost all water. So when we respect that water, we also respect ourselves. And as women, we carry that sacred water for those future generations to come. And we give thanks for all that water. Even when we drink a sip of water, we're supposed to say, Nyawagoa, be grateful for that. Even from those little drops of dew that are on those plants, we acknowledge all forms of water, whether they're creeks, streams, lakes, oceans, ponds. We acknowledge all of that. And we bring all our minds together as one and send our gratitude up and say, Nyawagoa. Then we take a look in that water of all those animals in that water. Those animals have a responsibility as well within that water and that ecosystem and what their jobs are. And they also provide their lives for us to sustain us. And we give thanks for all of that. And then we take a look at Mother Earth again and all that she's providing for us on a daily basis. And from as we journey through the seasons, in the springtime when they first give us those berries, all the medicine that's offered to us. Everything out there is offered to us, and everything we need is provided to us on a daily basis. And we look out there and we say, Nyawagoa Songwai Ndiso, for continually providing for that on a daily basis. I'm told that when we go out there to pick that medicine, we are not to pick the first one we see. We move on to the second one, maybe the third one. We put our tobacco down. We tell the Creator who we are and what we need that medicine for, and then we pick that medicine. Because if we were to pick that very first medicine, that could be the last one. That could be the only one out there, and we don't want to take that chance because everything is provided for us. So we give thanks for that. And once we take a look, and some speakers, I'm told that we have a very short time frame, and I think in the spirit of truth and reconciliation, I could just come up here and say a few words and be done. But I really believe that as we're gathered here today to acknowledge being by the power of that water, that we just need to acknowledge that. And some speakers will name every berry, every medicine, every insect, every critter out there. And I'm not going to do that for you, but I just want to acknowledge all those animals out there. And every leader of every category has a leader. Those strawberries, that Gandilio, the deer, the leader of all those animals that comes out and gives his life for us. We are to give thanks for that. And we use every piece of that animal. We don't waste any of that animal. Even the brain we use to tan the hide. We use the hoofs, we use everything, every part of that animal, because they've given their lives to sustain us. And we are so grateful for that, and we send our gratitude up as all of our minds are intertwined as we come together and give thanks. We look out there right now at those leaves that are all changing and all the beauty that it brings us on a daily basis. And we have stories of why those trees change color and why they are the color that they are. There's stories that go with everything out there in creation and how it came to be. So we acknowledge all that tree life out there, all the beauty that it brings us, all the shade it offers to us on a nice sunny day, all the wood that's given to us for many things, to build our homes, to keep our houses warm with the fire. And we give thanks for all that, and we acknowledge that it has a role and responsibility. And those maple trees talk to us when that winter time has come and it's coming to an end. Those maple trees let us know that sap starts running through. We go out there, we tap those trees, we drink that sweet water, and we say, Nyawagoa Sangwayandiso, because again, the cycle is gone completely around. So we acknowledge that, and we give all thanks for that. Then we take all our minds together and we take a look into the sky world, and that brother sun who rises in the east every day and sets in the west without being told, providing for us, and how everything coexists and how it supports each other with that ladiwelas, that thunder that brings that rain. We take our pipes out and we give thanks for that, because we know when that thunder hits and we hear that we know the rain is going to follow, and then everything continues on, and we give thanks for that. We take a look up at there at that night sky with all those stars out there. And our people at one time knew what those stars were, what all the formations for, and how it would tell us. Right now, I think we all know the North Star, right? And that's about it. And the only other thing I know is when that Big Dipper tips in the wintertime, it's time for my midwinter ceremony, so that's what we go by. And also in that sky world is Grandmother Moon. The Grandmother Moon is the one who takes care of all that tides in those oceans and takes care of those tides within the women and decides when those women are going to deliver their babies. That's the Grandmother Moon, and we give thanks. We give thanks to her for that night light. And if we just had a full moon, and it was incredible. The light that came from that was absolutely incredible. The power that's in there, that's in the universe. 3 days before she becomes full and 3 days after she becomes full. You might even notice that you'll see there's more increase in crime. People are acting. They don't know what it is. That's because of the energy that's flowing. So then we take a look at those birds that fly out there. The leader of those birds is the eagle that flies closest to the Creator. He's the one that sits on top of that tree of peace and looks out and watches for us. In the morning, before it's even daylight, the song of those birds can sometimes wake you up. And their job is to bring that beauty to us, the beauty of those songs, and we acknowledge that, and we say Nyawagoa Sangwayandiso for the beauty of those songs. And last but not least, we look at Sangwayandiso, the Creator of all things, who continually provides for us on a daily basis. I'm told we are not supposed to ask for things that we want. We are supposed to give thanks for the things that we have. So I do that right now. And I know that because it's a condensed version, that there's many that's been left out that's to be acknowledged. And I'd just like to take a couple of seconds right now. So for everyone, because the power of our thoughts and the unity in this room, just acknowledge something that's out there that means something to you that I didn't mention. Nyawagoa.
Thanks very much, Marie, for those powerful words of thanks. This time I'd like to introduce our platform guests. Representing the Police Services Board of Niagara Regional Police, Chair Bob Gale. Representing the Region of Niagara, Regional Chair Alan Caslin. Niagara Regional Police Service Chief Jeff McGuire. Niagara Regional Police Deputy Chief Joe Matthews. Vice Chair of the Police Services Board, Mr. Ken Ganzel. Before we go further, I'd ask that everyone stand, and I'll call upon Constable Sean Cuke to sing our national anthem. For the uniform members present, Chief McGuire will take the salute.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command, with glowing true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I'd like to call upon Police Services Board Chair Bob Gale to provide remarks on behalf of the Police Services Board.
Thank you. Before I get started, Dave Barrick and Carmen D'Angelo, can you come up here, please? I have 2 chairs for you, please, if you don't mind. Now, I'm bringing Carmen D'Angelo up here because he's the new CAO of the Niagara region, started on Monday, and we're expecting big things, and because I'm letting him sit in the front row, the police get first chance at anything we want, correct? Thank you. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming to share with us this important day in the history of the Niagara Regional Police Service. On behalf of the Niagara Regional Police Services Board, I'm pleased to join Regional Chair Alan Caslin, Chief of Police Jeff McGuire, Deputy Chief Joe Matthews, Deputy Chief Brian McCulloch, and Board Vice Chair and Facilities Committee Chair Ken Gansell to participate in the official opening ceremony of our newest building, the Niagara Regional Police Service Headquarters and 2 District Patrol Facility. I also would like to acknowledge the other members of the Police Services Board in attendance. Board Member Dave Barrick, who is a Regional Councillor and Chair of the Corporate Services Committee, Terry Bonham, our Citizen Appointee, and Vaughn Stewart, a Provincial Appointee on the board. We also have a large number of regional councillors as well as city and local area councillors here, along with our provincial and federal members and the governments they represent. Since there are too many to name individually, I extend a special welcome to each and every one of you. Your leadership and presence is truly appreciated. Today we are witnessing a historic evolution of the Niagara Regional Police Service. This 215,000 square foot critical public infrastructure facility is home to approximately 600 members of the NRPS, and will improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the Niagara Regional Police Service and officers and civilians. As I look at this new headquarters and district building and our new location on Valley, the thoughts occur to me that all our recent employees and those who will join us for years into the future will only know this new modern facility. Unlike many of our members here today who grew up serving with the NRPS, they may not fully appreciate how far we have come and what this building means to us. I started on the police at Zimmerman Avenue and was one of the group of officers who opened the new state-of-the-art Morrison Street detachment late in the 1970s. Now I'm here in a different role, and I can appreciate how things I have advanced. And Deb hates when I go off on a tangent, but is anybody here that worked at Zimmerman Avenue with me, or anybody here that worked at Zimmerman Avenue Police? Found one. Can I talk to you later then? I got something to bond with you on how bad that was and how good we are here. I hope you're taking the tour today. Good. This facility represents the extraordinary efforts of many NRPS members and key regional staff who have worked tirelessly for years to make their dreams and visions for the future come true. I want to thank the most important people that have led to our success, our police facilities team. This team was led by Deputy Chief of Police Joe Matthews, who's been involved in this project since 2009, but I know it was years before that, Joe, that you were involved, but we're going to give you credit to 2009, buddy. He has led the service through the complete facilities and technological renewal focused on the long-term delivery of policing services in the Niagara region. Inspector Richard Frayne, where are you, Richard? Over there. Has also played a lead role in the project and received the board's Award of Excellence for his outstanding efforts to the building design and construction. Regional Director Marnie Clucky, who's away off right now, and Regional Project Manager Mislav Koren. Mislav? at the back there, have been instrumental to the project. It was their responsibility to work with the architects and contractors, senior management, the board, and the service to achieve full project completion. This team of professionals brings tremendous knowledge from a broad array of disciplines. They have worn so many hats as our facility project has evolved to where it is today. They, more than anyone, fully appreciate how truly far we have traveled to get to this day, and this day truly belongs to them. I would like to acknowledge the support of Regional Council, as they have played an important role in making this facility a reality. Regional Council, or the region, owns this property. I would also like to extend a special thanks to Regional Chair Alan Caslin, as well as our community leaders in the region who have fully supported this project from its inception. It is great to see strong links between the police and local government. I would like to congratulate those who have worked so hard on behalf of the police and this community and whose achievements we are celebrating. I would also like to thank our board members, both past and present. If you're a past board member, please hold up your hand. Very good, thank you. Both past and present, as well as service and regional staff who have worked tirelessly on this project and have taken it from being a plan on paper to the building you see here today. I hope you'll take the tour later on. We are inspired by your leadership and vision, and we are committed to building a bright future for the safety and security of the residents and visitors to the Niagara region, which we are now, today more than ever, so proud to call home. Before I turn it over to Regional Chair Caslin, one final acknowledgement is due. It is a special tribute to our former Chief of Police, the late Wendy Southall. Wendy has left a remarkable legacy behind, one which will remain with us for years to come. Her vision to implement an NRPS facilities master plan and deliver a purpose-built facility that will serve the public professionally and efficiently now and in the future has been realized. It's my privilege to be able to participate in this official opening ceremony for this building. But none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for the taxpayers of Niagara. It is our commitment that not only will they get great service, but it is a service rooted in the belief that we have been and will continue to be respectful of every tax dollar provided by the citizens of our region. They expect great service, commitment, and professionalism from the Niagara Regional Police Service, and this building is their tribute to us and all those who serve in it. On behalf of the Police Services Board, I would like to thank everyone for attending the ceremony today. I'm very honored to see so many community leaders, colleagues, and friends come to join us here this afternoon to mark the grand opening of our new police headquarters and 2-district facility. Following the ceremony, there will be a public tour for everyone, and if we can't accommodate everyone, we'll do it again some other day, but everybody in the region should have a chance to see this facilities. I hope you enjoy this all-access backstage pass. That was Deb's words. All-access backstage pass that you are given today. You are about to see a state-of-the-art facility that is unrivaled by any other in the Niagara region, and is the most complex and secure public structure in the Niagara region. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair Gale. I'd like to now call upon Regional Chair Alan Caslin to provide remarks on behalf of the Regional Municipality of Niagara.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Bob, for that introduction. I'm not sure how I'm going to top that, but I want to make sure that I thank you for joining us here today to mark the official opening of our new Niagara Regional Police Service headquarters right here in Niagara Falls. How about that? I want to thank the members of Regional Council and the many stakeholders that are joining us here today. I would also like to thank fellow Police Board members and Police Board Chair Bob Gale, Chief Jeff McGuire, and all the NRPS staff for attending. I would like to thank Constable Sean Cook for performing our national anthem today. And I see he's not with us right now, but thank you very much. And also Marie Jones for her ceremony and discussion with us, some very powerful words. This is a 19,000 square meter facility that took 35 months to build. And now is the new home for the police service, a fantastic architectural addition to our Niagara community. Not only is this facility modern, advanced, and architecturally appealing, but it also is built with the environment in mind. This facility was designated to the LEED Silver Standard to ensure that a high degree of environmentally energy-efficient elements were included. I would like to thank the design team, the consultants on this project, Rebanks, Pepper, Littlewood Architects, in association with McLaren, Wilson, and Laurie Inc. So thank you for all your hard work. Exactly. I'd also like to thank Carillion Canada for their work in building this facility. The Niagara Regional, yes, thank you for Carillion. The Niagara Regional Police Service delivers vital service to Niagara residents and to our communities. I'd like to especially acknowledge the frontline officers here today, and I can see the hats. Thank you for your dedicated efforts to our communities across Niagara to keep our residents safe and out of harm's way each and every day. Thank you for you and your work. We trust this new facility will provide the space, tools, and resources that you need to keep doing what you do day in and day out. I'm proud to be here today for the opening of the new headquarters, and again, thank you to all of you for being here to join us today.
Thanks very much, Chair Caslin. I'd now like to call upon Chief Jeff McGuire to bring remarks on behalf of the Niagara Regional Police Service.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for being here this afternoon. Welcome. And I, too, first of all, would like to give my thanks to Marie Jones for her kind words at the beginning of our ceremony today, and Sean for singing the anthem for us. I would also like to acknowledge our auxiliary officers who you see at the back of the door there, the ones with the black and red checkered headbands on their hats. They're volunteers. They come here and they assist us in providing safety to the community and helping us out at special events like that. And their commander, Superintendent Dressel, is trying to hide in the middle of the crowd there, but he's got his hat on, and I always embarrass him, but I'll continue to do it to tell you that he's in his 39th year of voluntary service with the auxiliary police. So first of all, I'd like to honor again and acknowledge our honored guest, Regional Chair Caslin. Thank you for your words, and Police Services Board members that are here today. Chair Gale, Vice Chair Ganzel, Member Barrick, Member Stewart, Member Marshall is not here with us, I don't believe, today, and Member Terry Bonham, thank you very much for being here today. And I'd also like to acknowledge some of the people who previously held these positions during my time here with the Niagara Regional Police. Regional Chair Gary Burrows, at the time, was on the board when I was here. Henry D'Angela, Regional Councillor, who was the chair of the board at the time. Vance Badaway, now a member of Parliament. Mr. Todd Schultz was our citizen appointee. So those are the board members during my time period, and they all deserve acknowledgement as well, as this project has been going on for a considerable length of time, as you've heard. I also acknowledge the members of various levels of government who I see here today. Deputy Chiefs, my two right-hand men, Brian McCullough and Joe Matthews, NRPS senior staff, our uniformed staff, all of you, civilian and sworn. It's an honor that you're here. Retired members, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As Chair Gale has said already, I would like to take a brief moment just to share my acknowledgement and heartfelt thanks to the family of Wendy Southall, and I would also acknowledge that retired Chair Gary Nichols is here, also instrumental in this process and moving this facilities program forward. The insight of these people and Wendy's insight and commitment many years ago to the future of policing in this region were essential in driving forward the facilities project right across the region, not just with this building, but having the intellect and the ability to look forward and see what would be needed in the future and make sure that it happened. I'm very proud that I had the opportunity to invite Chief Southall here for the groundbreaking ceremonies almost 3 years ago exactly to the day. And we sat in a muddy parking lot right around where the front doors are there, I believe, or it might have been back here. I know it was a muddy, mucky tent, but it was a great day and we broke ground, and Wendy was there and she was thrilled and honored to be here to see the groundbreaking. And we very much hope I was certainly honored that later had the opportunity to talk, and Joe Matthews, I know, had a good relationship, a very close relationship in that whole process, as you'll hear more about. And Joe had the honor of making sure that Wendy got a tour of this facility while it was under construction, and unfortunately, due to her passing, obviously is not here with us today, but I do know that her family were invited, and I know Brent is here, and I see him in the middle there, and I think and his sister's here as well. And we're certainly honored, Aaron and Brent, that both of you were able to come here on behalf of your mom. And you can know that from our perspective, and certainly take away for your family, that your mother's legacy will live on in the region through many things, but certainly through this building. So thank you very much. So to start with a quote from Vince Lombardi, Vince once said, "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." And I truly believe that's a position that we're in every day in this business that we call policing. I'm incredibly proud of the women and men of the NRPS, both civilian and sworn, who've dedicated their lives to working with our communities to create and maintain safe communities for all of us to live and for our visitors to come and visit this beautiful Niagara region in safety. Monday, June 18th, 2012 was my first day on the job here in Niagara. And at the end of that first day, my good friend now, didn't know Joe very well, didn't know anybody very well, but I'm proud to call them all my good friends now. Joe advised me that the next day on Tuesday, I'd be cutting the ribbon at a new facility in Fort Erie at our new police station. So that was day 2. So after I cut the ribbon that Tuesday morning, I said to the crowd, "I've been a Niagara Region cop for 24 hours now, and I just opened my first police station. What are we doing tomorrow?" Who knew it would be another 4.5 years before we got that opportunity to do that again, but here we are now opening the next facility. I'm also profoundly proud and honored to have had the opportunity over the past 4.5 years to lead this organization as the chief of police, along with my senior management team and all the people that make this organization function, all for the benefit of the community. As chief of police, I have many, many responsibilities, one of which is to ensure that we are able to deliver adequate and effective policing to our communities and to the people that we're sworn to serve. And in order to accomplish that, it's imperative that I, along with my senior management team and the Police Services Board, provide the necessary training, the tools, and the equipment to our people in order that they can fulfill that responsibility. Those required tools include the facilities in which we ask our people to come to work and expect them to work. This facility, which we're opening here today, is the centerpiece of the facilities that we need to serve our communities in that adequate and effective manner, all driven towards public safety. The long-term facilities project, as you heard, commenced some 16 years ago, and it's now nearing completion. We have one more facility to complete, the one district station in St. Catharines, and I assure you that we will continue to work diligently towards the development and building and completion of that building to deliver this project. I have the utmost respect for the many NRPS and regional staff who have worked so hard for so many, many years to keep this project moving forward. And at the risk of missing names, I'm not going to try to name them all, but I do say to you that I owe and that we owe a great deal of gratitude and thanks to Deputy Chief Joe Matthews and Inspector Richard Frayne. I also see retired Chris Fisher here, our recently retired facilities manager. I think we just kind of wore him out eventually. But Chris, we're glad to see that he's back here as well. I'm certainly confident that when Deputy Matthews speaks in a moment, he'll acknowledge more people and have more to say about the historical part of this journey because, as he may tell you, he's been involved in this since the late 1800s. And I don't mean to insult your age. I think Joe gets what I'm talking about. But it is because of the foundation of the people that you've heard about and the people that are currently here working on this that we have succeeded in this project. I am completely confident in telling you that this facility is now the most technically sound and operationally efficient police facility in Canada. This building is purpose designed. It was designed based on operational and technological requirements of the profession of policing, and a facility designed in a manner that enhances our ability to deliver effective and efficient policing services to the community in a manner that will enhance safety for all, not just today, but for many, many years to come. Just for a little bit of knowledge for you, the opening of this facility has also allowed us to close a number of individual buildings and to bring more than 50% of our total employment strength, our staff, together here under one roof. This will make us more efficient. This will make us better equipped and allow us to serve our communities better. And as you'll hear me say over and over again, this will enhance safety in our communities. The people in the building now, in this building, that are responsible for many areas of policing, and just to tell you a few of them, 2 district uniform and detective officers serving the city of Niagara Falls are based on the main floor. Our communications dispatch and 911 emergency call taking for the entire region. Our major crime unit for all our major investigations across the region. Our forensic identification unit and laboratory. central prisoner management, records management, property and evidence management, professional standards, information technology, administration, the command, and perhaps most importantly, this community room, which is available to the region for use for us to hold events such as this and for other things that the region is entitled to do. So life can be seen as a seemingly never-ending series of milestones. And today, the members of the NRPS, together with our community members, have reached a milestone that we will always remember and appreciate. The opening of this facility is a monumental step forward in our collective journey to continuing and developing, maintaining, and celebrating safety in our communities. I'll just close with a couple of quick quotes. A quote from Steve Jobs is, "Everyone here has a sense that right now is one of those moments when we're influencing the future." And I truly believe that to be the case. This building is set to deliver policing and safety in the communities across the region of Niagara for the next 40 to 50 years. We've made that advancement, and I truly believe that we are influencing the future. I have my own quote, which I have relied upon for most of my policing career, and many of you in the room are aware of it, and it simply is, have a little fun every day. I encourage all of you here today and across the region to strive to do that in partnership with the members of the Niagara Regional Police Service, both civilian and sworn, as we work together to keep the communities of Niagara safe. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Chief. I'm going to now call upon Deputy Chief Matthews to provide some history of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into this building. Deputy Matthews.
Thanks, Brian. Chief McGuire, members of the board, fellow officers, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. In 1944, Winston Churchill said, "We shape our buildings, and afterwards, our buildings shape us." This quote has stayed with me as I reflect on the long journey that we continue to travel as we build modern police facilities from which we have the privilege of serving our communities. You've heard that we began this journey 16 years ago under the leadership of then Chief of Police Gary Nichols. And Chief Nichols is here today, and I'll just go off script for a minute to tell a great story. I was working at the time as a sergeant, an executive officer to the deputy chief, and one of my first assignments was to take architects on a tour of 68 Church Street. They were from a local firm, Quartec. They wrote the report, became known as the Quartec Report, that spoke about the conditions of 68 Church, and I had to give them a tour of the building. And I got lost in the basement. They wanted to go from one place to the other, and I said, I don't know how to do that. I said, I got to go back upstairs and back down the other way and the building's still like that. So in the ensuing years, successive teams of dedicated individuals researched, studied, and justified the need for new facilities. It was never about grandeur or opulence. It was never about Taj Mahals or personal monuments. It was always about, and remains about, efficiency and effectiveness. It was about form and function and respect. It was about safety, civic presence, and the rule of law in our community. I think when I think about that quote, what Churchill was trying to say was that as people spend time in buildings, especially critical public infrastructure, the police who serve the community from these buildings and the people who serve the community from these buildings will actually begin to take on the qualities of the building itself. I hope that this will be the case for this fantastic facility, because this building is all about serving the people of Niagara in the best and most efficient way possible. The journey to get here has been a long one and at times a difficult one, but this building stands as a symbol of what collaboration and compromise can achieve. I want to thank my counterparts at the Niagara region who worked with us on the planning committee and steering teams. The citizens of Niagara were well served by the partnership that developed between the staff of our two organizations. I have tremendous respect for the partners we worked with along the way, including Mike Trojan, Brian Hutchings, Patrick Robson, Mike Weir, Mo Lewis, Ron Tripp, Mislav Koren, Marnie Clucky, and so many others. As our facilities journey progressed, we were very fortunate to have benefited from a spectacular architectural collaboration. Born from the adversarial process that had developed, two architectural firms joined together to complete the master plan and subsequently joined hands to design this building. Mr. Dean Roberts and his team from McLaren, Wilson, and Lowry, who are based in Wheaton, Illinois, teamed up with Mr. John Pepper and his team from Rebanks Pepper in Littlewood of Toronto. And both John and Dean are with us here today. That collaboration has given us, as you've heard Chief McGuire describe it, the best technically designed and constructed police facility in Canada. I have no doubt of that, and I wonder if we could just show our appreciation to John and Dean and their firms. You know, I think Dean Roberts put it best when during one of our many long conversations, he explained to me his architectural philosophy when designing public safety facilities. He pointed out that the history of police departments right across North America is that they were typically housed in the basement of City Hall or in the back of the courthouse. Police officers parked around the back and entered the building through back doors and dark alleys. I think many of us can recall examples of that in all of our communities. But when Dean spoke about public safety facilities, he spoke of modern police facilities that are filled with natural light. He spoke of modern-day police officers and staff who deserve to be working in an environment commensurate with their profession. He talked about secure buildings that kept everyone safe in a post-9/11 world, but that were welcoming and inviting to the people that we serve. And Dean spoke about wide hallways where officers and staff can collaborate as they make their ways to and from their respective units. I think that what we have here is a great example of that philosophy, and I know that what we have here is a treasure that this community can be proud of for many years to come. I'd also like to thank our general contractor, as you've heard, Carillion Canada Incorporated. And I think we have here Dave Maxwell and John Brucato. We worked with Dave and John and their staff as the building took shape, and we were always confident that Carillion was sensitive to police needs. They were always very gracious in allowing us unfettered access to the site during construction, and were always responsive to the concerns. So John and Dave, thank you to you and your staff on behalf of the Niagara Regional Police Service. I'm of the firm belief that one of the main reasons that we've achieved the success that we did was that our planning team insisted that every aspect of this building be designed with the input of virtually every member of our police service. Our employees were asked how they did what they did, why they did things the way they did, and they were challenged to find better, more efficient ways to operate. Not only is the building itself highly innovative, but the processes with which we carry out police operations in this building are unique. Some are made in Niagara solutions. Other ideas we borrowed from police services like Ottawa and Toronto, but all are meant to increase efficiency and effectiveness. The personality of this building is about more than the concrete and steel that it is made of. It's about the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into its planning. You've heard about the vision that Chief Wendy Southall had put into action with reams and reams of paper and presentations spanning many years. I want to especially acknowledge the work of one gentleman, I don't believe he's here today, but it's retired Deputy Chief Gary Bolio. I know that Gary spent countless hours drafting and redrafting report after report. And if you knew Gary, you knew that he did this at work, he did it at his cottage, on family vacations, and he did it with the same grit, determination, and good old-fashioned hard work that was the hallmark of his career. So we want to thank Gary. I also want to thank retired Superintendents Brent Simons and Dan D'Amico for their input and commitment to this project over many years as they served on working committees and steering committees. The personality of this building is also about honoring the past, honoring the history of the Niagara Regional Police Service. We've named rooms in the building after all of our former chiefs, including Albert Shannon, Donald Harris, James Gator, John Shoveler, Grant Waddell, Gary Nichols, and Wendy Southall. In addition to that, we asked our members to name certain rooms in honor of people who were important to them. So we have the Constable Dorothy Hart training room, and I'm pleased to see Dorothy here today, and I had a chance to chat with Dorothy and actually took her down and showed her the meeting room. Dorothy was the first female member of the Niagara Regional Police Service, and we're proud to have you with us here today, Dorothy. We have the Cliff Sexton Project Room, the Auxiliary Superintendent Bruce Dressel Training Center, the Piper Peter McKenzie Meeting Room, the Sergeant Harry Artinian Meeting Room, the Peter Gallant Communications Training Center, the Detective George Savage and Detective Steve Kinnaird project rooms, and a room that I'm very proud of, named in honor of my late brother, Detective Sergeant Mike Matthews, Homicide Unit Project Room. And finally, the Green Ribbon Project Room. These rooms stand as a testament to the importance of our history, the pride of service, and as a tribute to our Niagara Regional Police Service family. The personality of this building is certainly about serving our community in the present. As we set out to transition from our old, outdated facilities model, we needed to put in place detailed operational plans to carry out the actual move. Now, these plans were as complicated as operational plans for the most complex criminal investigation that we would carry out. So we put together a dedicated team under the leadership of Detective Sergeant Tara Henderson and the many move captains from each unit. The plan was developed and carried out over a period of several weeks. The move was an incredible success with very few surprises, because I always told Tara, we don't like surprises. This team benefited from the expertise of, as you've heard, retired facilities manager Chris Fisher, who was also so instrumental in the planning and design of this building, and from the knowledge and commitment of our purchasing coordinator, Mr. James Berg. The advanced technology in this facility meant that every aspect of the move required detailed technological planning. Under the leadership of our IT director, Acromas School, our IT personnel went above and beyond the call of duty. They were responsible for connecting all of the pieces of the puzzle that provide us the ability to function and thrive in the 21st century. And if you tour the building today, you will see some of that technology forefront, literally miles and miles of cable plugged in to seamlessly join all our services together. This is highly complex and time-consuming work, and I want to say a special thank you to this incredible team of dedicated public servants, because we couldn't have done this without our IT team. The personality of this building is most importantly about the future. This facility will house 60% of our staff, and in doing so it will create incredible efficiencies, which we have already seen taking place. But let's not forget about the other 40% of our service and the communities that they serve. The long-term accommodation plan that was years in the making was arrived at after incredible amounts of thought, deliberation, hard-fought discussions, and at significant cost, supported by the taxpayers of our region. The opening of this facility is a major milestone, but it's not the end of the road. The people of St. Catharines and Thorold and our members who serve those communities deserve proper, safe, modern facilities, and I urge the decision makers of today to show the courage, vision, and leadership necessary to see this project through to the end. This building is a testament to what can be achieved when enhanced public safety is the shared goal. On a personal note, I want to extend my sincere thanks to Inspector Richard Frayne. Richard was selected as the operational lead representing the police service on this project, and I'm sure when we told him that, he wondered what the heck he had gotten himself into. Well, Richard jumped in with both feet. He educated himself. He learned more about construction than many of us will ever know. He did an outstanding job, and he made my job a whole lot easier because I knew that he was on top of so many of the minute details. So thank you very much, Richard, for your dedication. I want to thank the men and women of the Niagara Regional Police Service. Thank you for your patience and your dedication and patience and really waiting for and becoming such a big part of this building. We thank you all. And finally, and most importantly, I want to thank the citizens of Niagara. We know that the vast majority of citizens support what we do. We have felt that support with incredible public interest in this project. You have demonstrated your support through significant investment in public safety, and we feel that support every day as we work to maintain your trust. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming to celebrate the opening of this wonderful facility today, and I hope you can stay and enjoy the tour. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Deputy Matthews. I'd like to now call upon Vice Chair Ken Ganzel to provide some remarks on behalf of the board. Knowing Ken, I suspect there's going to be some commentary regarding technology.
Well, thank you very much. In my role as Vice Chair of the board, I also chair the Technology Committee. as well as the Facilities Committee of the board. So I have a distinct pleasure of thanking everyone, and there's been a long list of people this afternoon, for coming to this important event in the history of the Niagara Regional Police Service. Today you have witnessed the collective efforts of the Region of Niagara, the Police Service, and the Police Service Board to complete one of the major milestones, which is part of the Facilities Master Plan that was started back in 2005. Yes, a decade ago. Chief Wendy Southall and her team, along with the Police Service Board, had a vision to create the master plan, which was approved in 2009. And on November 18th, 2013, which will be 3 years this Friday, sod was turned on this building, and that took place in the mudded parking lot that I believe the chief spoke just outside the window there. So what you see today is part of that vision, which is not only our new headquarters and 2-district building here in Niagara Falls, but moving forward is the new 1-district building in St. Catharines, which will be under construction sometime in 2017. In closing, I want to acknowledge a number of people that were instrumental in moving the Facilities Master Plan along and having the determination that so many years and never lost sight of the goal. The work done in this building will have a profound impact on the delivery of police services to everyone in the Niagara region, residents and visitors alike. I would like to thank the following, and I know that as soon as you make a list, someone will be left off, so please accept our thanks in advance for that. Todd Schultz, who was the Vice Chair of the Police Board and Chair of the Building and Facilities Committee prior to me when all this started. I don't believe Todd is here today. Chief Jeffrey McGuire, who championed the vision of a plan where Wendy left off, and I know the chief has mentioned that in his comments. Deputy Chiefs Joe Matthews and Brian McCulloch, who had the collective determination to see the project get underway and keep it on track. Again, thank you. Inspector Richard Frayne, who was on-site project manager for the police on the project and was on-site just about every day, representing the service in every aspect of the design, construction, and operations of a new building. He is also involved in proposed work being done in St. Catharines on District 1 as well. Detective Sergeant Tara Henderson, who's sort of hiding by the door, who was involved in the headquarters as well as the coordination of the big move. And from what I am told, went off without a hitch, unless there's something I didn't hear. And she's very good with an electric screwdriver under a desk working on trying to get these things to attach. Director Akram School and his team of IT professionals who were instrumental in getting this very complex technology up and running on day one, including the cutover of a 911 center and the new radio system. That all took place during the move of this building. A very impressive deed indeed. Jamie Saunders, who I don't know is here, the video service manager, was instrumental in ensuring our video system in the community room was operational. And I will point out today, for your viewing enjoyment and entertainment, today's event is being live streamed on YouTube. And if you go to YouTube and put in Niagara Regional Police Services Board, you will find this event as well as the last 2 board meetings. Hopefully this will have a link on our website at some future date, and you'll be able to watch us live. After the plaque unveiling, you will have the opportunity to tour our wonderful building. But please pay close attention to one item, and it's an item that I'm probably the most interested in. That's the Real-Time Operations Center. You will have a glimpse into the future of policing in Niagara, so please take note when you have a chance to visit that facility. It is truly remarkable, and what we intend to do with it is also going to be remarkable. Again, thank you for attending today's celebration, and I will now turn the proceedings over to Deputy Chief McCulloch. Thank you.
Thanks, Vice Chair Ganzel. It's now time for the unveiling of the plaque that will be mounted in the front entranceway. On the tour, you'll get to see where that's going to go. So if I can just get the platform guests to come down to my left. Did they? This concludes our opening ceremony. For those who have not had the opportunity to yet tour our new facility, we are still offering tours today. Should you wish to take part in a tour, I'd ask you to see Staff Sergeant Dale Braun, Dale, are you still here? And Sergeant Rich Gadro, who I do see in the lobby as well, is going to be doing the tours. Again, I would like to thank everyone for attending today and for being part of our rich and proud history. Thank you very much.